cheat through here. So I wanted to give just a few extra tips here about this puzzle because there are a couple of things that can really make it not function well, but they have some kind of easy solutions if you know what they are. So that's what I'm trying to show you here. So let me just open this up and get rid of that and that. And let's just look here on the inside of this box. So the first thing is the CPU, okay? And one thing you really want to do with this puzzle is make sure that this piece and the rest of the puzzle are really pressed in firmly, okay? If the pieces are loose, then this doesn't work well. Another thing that can happen is if there's some sort of unevenness in just the way that these were assembled. So after you've pressed this in tightly, one thing I might recommend is coming in and just trying to make sure that the edges of this CPU piece are really smooth. And the best way I found to do that is, let me just move this out of the way here. Okay. Is to just take this, put it on its side with some pressure, and just make circles on a smooth surface like that. And it's a little harder with this one. You might actually hang this over the edge of a table, so and still just do that across the edge or the corner. Okay, so that's one thing. Just pull back my little black mat here. Okay. So that's how you can make this piece a little bit better. Now, if you find that this is popping off during the reset, like that, okay, remember I suggested you could add some glue to it, and that actually is okay to do. Adding glue ruins the pieces. If you ever want to reuse them, you can't do that anymore. But if you just need the puzzle to work, you can glue this in. You can also add a little bit of glue just in the corner here. You know, if you get a little buildup with the glue, and when I say glue, I'm talking about super glue typically, or epoxy, it's okay to get buildup here. This space is unused. This sort of extra 1.5 plate height here, you can get buildup there, and that's fine. But you definitely don't want to get glue anywhere near this sliding daisy chain. Okay, the other place that this really gets stuck sometimes is at the fan button. So I'm just gonna pull this out and show you a couple of things here. Again, you really wanna make sure this fan button is pressed in tightly. And you can do the same sort of smoothing trick. Okay, and just really make sure that this is pressed in nice and firm. This daisy chain here is the one where problems can result. And there's 2 points on this where it gets hung up. So I'm just gonna use the mouse to push this in. Well, so look, that's what happens when they're not contained well. And the 2 places you really want this to be free are, I'm gonna grab a pointer, which I'll use later. This is also called a knife. Right here on this corner, it can get hung up because if this comes if it doesn't come fully out, it can hang right there on this edge. See how I can get that to sort of get caught like that? Okay. And if this corner is really sharp, it's easier for that to get caught that way. See how that looks? How it's kind of, let me move it closer here. See how it's kind of catty corner right there? So that right there is one place it can get caught, and the other place is right here. If this is kind of tilted that way, And you can see how that creates something right here. That's a lip that the button can get stuck on. So I'm going to show you what to do for these. Let me zoom in just a little for you. There we go. I'm going to have a couple pieces here. This little birthday invitation card will represent the yellow piece, and this pink one will represent the gray piece. So what I'm going to do now is show you where to remove the edge sharpness on these two tile pieces, okay? So on the gray piece, that's more on the interior, you're going to remove this sharp corner, okay? On the yellow piece, you're going to remove the other side's sharp corner right there, okay? So one thing I can do is to take this and to rub it in circles on a hard surface until it starts to be a little rounded, and then I would do that on the opposite corner here. Okay. But I'm going to show you how to do it with the knife. If you're a kid, I don't want you using the knife. You just get an adult to help you. This is something, it's not that hard for an adult to do who has an experience with using a knife. One thing I'd say is you don't need a sharp knife to do this. Okay, so I'm just using a little kitchen knife here. Let me show you what it looks like. So again, this is the interior piece. Really all I'm going to do is just give it a little shave. So did you see that little shaving right there that I pulled off? It's just very small. These are not hard to get shavings off of against a sharp surface. So again, I'm going to do it this other direction here. Can you see this? I'm just going to give it a little shave. And I'm just pulling a few little tiny of these shavings off. They almost look like sprinkles with this pink here. Okay, I'm going to go that way a little bit. And I'm just changing the angle a little bit each time. Okay, not using a sharp knife here. I'm just giving it a little bit of pressure and just rolling it down and creating these little shavings. Do not cut yourself doing this. If you're a kid, don't use the knife. Get an adult to do it. If you're an adult doing this, just watch the video and see how this round edge sort of gets made here. This really does make a big difference in the reliability of this fan button and its ability to just kind of move into different positions. Okay, so see how that starts to look a little bit round there? Let me put it down. It doesn't require much. Let me move it up closer to you. Can you see this? No, you can't. Alright, so if you're looking very closely at this, you can see that it starts to feel rounded and it doesn't have a sharp corner to catch on. And when that starts to happen, you're getting exactly what you need. So that's about the number of shavings. You can see these little flakes here. Those are all just very small pieces of Lego. So this is the one that will go on the inside of that daisy chain, the one that's just free floating, that's part of the fan button, and this is the yellow one that will get pushed out. Alright, so I could replace this gray one now with this pink one, and it's not going to get caught really there. But remember I said the yellow one can get caught on this edge here, so I'm going to take a little bit of that off here. So this is that corner. I'll just do the same thing here. I realize this is Frankenbricking and this is not legal Lego technique, but if you're really craving a good puzzle and you want it to work well, you can do this. And I don't think this really ruins the brick. It might ruin the look of the brick if you're, this isn't really a good birthday invitation anymore because it's been sort of degraded, but the brick is still functional. You could use it in other builds. You could use it as a slider in other puzzles. And it just takes a few seconds of just shaving little bits off until it sort of has taken the corner away and replaced it with a bit of a bevel. Just a smooth sort of round corner instead of a sharp corner. And when you do that, it's able to just sort of slide between its two rolls in the puzzle box, the two positions. So you see these little flakes here? That's just little shavings of plastic. And then that one can now go here. And then when I put the fan button in, reattach this wall, zoom out a little for y'all, and then I put in the CPU. Let's see. That's putting up a level high. Oh, my power button was in the wrong position. All right, there we go. There. Okay, so now when I push the mouse button in, that little birthday invitation comes out. I should be able to just push this power button right in. First try. There we go. Then when I pull it back, I should be able to push this power button. First try. There we go. Okay. It's a bit of a spoiler, but if you've put a lot of time into building this, I just want to make you aware, because it really makes the difference between this being a really good puzzle box and being a puzzle box that just hurts your feelings each time it gets hung up. Be careful, but take care of your puzzle boxes. They're important and special, and it's really nice to be able to share them with other people and not to have to say, oh, that got hung up, let me help you with this. And come back and use your sort of jiggling techniques to get it right. It's better when it works right the first time, and so that's why I wanted to share this video with you. Cheat 3 out.